after. I gotta go, mate, so I'll talk to you later. Yeah. Yeah. I need my phone there.
They don't tell me nothing. I just rock up and shoot now.
Get your list where you're going.
Yeah, basically.
I'll start
I
fast
see
one,
this
so.
smashing Instagram at the moment.
Yeah, it's Gareth.
Is it?
Yeah.
Smashing Instagram. And done one today down the beach and that at Port Stevens and that.
Yep. Gareth's loving it.
Shows, see, he does that, have you seen that, the Tony boys?
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. I said to him, do one for Kemble LaGrange.
He would too.
I could sit in the pub and do that.
No, nothing to do.
You're loving it. Yeah.
You have a large one? Yeah. Yeah, I got a medium.
Hey, bang!
Wow. I'm going to tell 3. Tell you what, it's a big relief. In the medium, mate, you're in the large. I'll fill it out though, you know what I mean? Alright, that's it. Anything in particular you want to stick out for? Everything and anything. It's only the grass is growing. Huh? There's Stuck to that band in a minute. Yeah. What way they kick it? I'll get Corrimal. Do you want to get Thirroul? Actually, you get Corrimal. Get Corrimal from the shed. They'll come out, no way. They'll come out. Wait. Ready to go, boys? Let's go, lads!
Good afternoon and welcome to a windy, rainy Zeems Park. Saturday afternoon football coming to you live, courtesy of Bar TV Sports. This is Johnny Pett calling this game between the Corrimal Cougars and the Thirroul Butchers. As we see the Butchers take to the field and also the home side, the Corrimal Cougars. The Cougars coming off a bye last week. The Butchers, they battled it out there at Gibson Park in a 14-all draw between last year's premiers, Collegians. This is the local derby, being dubbed by our man, by the Illawarra Mercury, Mitch Jennings, as the Battle of the Beaches. As we see, Corrimal will kick off to Thirroul. Thirroul nearly unchanged that side from last week, but they'll bring in number 16, Luke Shields, played reserve grade in the game previous. Luke was unable last week's draw against Collegians due to a friend's wedding, so the big moose, he will be primed for a big match today. The Corrimal Cougars side, they're still searching for their first win of 2018. The Cougars traditionally play with a lot of spirit each week, and I'm sure we'll see that spirit today. It's Old Boys Day also at Corrimal, as we see the kick-off deep into Thirroul's territory. And a mistake first up there from Jack Payne. So a little bit of luck there early for the Corrimal Cougars from that kick. As I mentioned before, it's a little bit windy, bit rainy here at Zeems Park. So we will expect a little bit of drop ball in these conditions.
Hold it. Don't go early, 3.
So Corrimal, they'll have the first chance at crossing the stripe.
Box in. I'll call in and out.
This Higgins will feed the scrum. Blake Higgins. Lee Higgins, his brother, the fullback for Thirroul. We can see Horvath with the ball. Smith with the line. He's wrapped up by Murphy and Gallagher. Those two men
Go, 1.
Sorry, Morris and Gallagher. Those two men, Morris and Gallagher, were huge in last week's draw against Collegiate. Power at dummy half. We see big Jamie Marinovic just making a mistake to play that ball. So Thirroul have been let off the hook early. So we've just gone past 1 minute of play and we've already seen 2 mistakes in this game.
Second row down first.
I'm sure both coaches will want to stop the mistakes early. It's the last thing both coaches will want to see for the remainder of this clash. Higgins with the ball. He'll bring it over his 20-metre line. Joel Johnson in the dummy half. He'll go to his right. Gallagher, a little bit of a jink. Good leg drive there from Gallagher. Attracting 4. Johnson at dummy half. There's Morris. Tireless Morris was last week.
Go, 3.
Johnson to the left. There's the veteran Aaron Beath. Strong carry there from Beath. Just shy of the halfway line. Johnson at dummy half. There's his front row partner Ruskin. The evergreen Joel Ruskin he's been this season. He's been strong up front. Joel Ruskin just keeps getting better with age. There's Jake Walsh putting it up high. Smith under it. And Smith's fumbled that kick. He's fumbled it. So a mistake there again. Jared Smith just couldn't take that catch. It was a high kick from Jake Walsh. I think we'll see that a lot throughout the 8 minutes of rugby today. Kicks will be high, take advantage of the wind and these wet conditions. The back three for both sides will be under immense pressure throughout this 80 minutes. Jack Payne to feed the scrum. Johnson at the base. Higgins, ball in hand, steps to the line, gets past the first defender. He's wrapped up, 5 minutes out.
Go, 1.
He's brought up 2 metres, centre of the paddock. Johnson at dummy half. Payne just couldn't grasp that. He's pushed back by the defence. He'll play the ball 15 metres out. Johnson to the short. Dodge with the ball. Shrugs off the first defender. Can't get past the next few. Billy White racking the ball up. Johnson. Payne. Short ball to Ruskin. Ruskin, can he stretch up? No, just pulled up short and we've been called back here for a forward pass. So that ball from Payne onto Ruskin. Just a tad forward there. So another mistake in this game.
1-3, keep coming, mate.
Corrimal, they'll get to feed the scrum 10 metres out from their own line.
Second row's arms over. Hold that line with your first line. Lock it in, lock it in. Hold in. In! Go on early. Go on early. Yep.
There's a strong carry from the Cougars winger coming in and helping out his forwards.
Offside.
There we go, first penalty of the game.
Hold back line.
Thirroul a little bit eager in that defence.
Couldn't call out a number. Yeah, that's all right, mate.
Referee Taylor Cleveland.
Offside's offside.
Just acknowledging the Thirroul defence in front of him. So a nice touch finder there.
Hold it, mate. Go! Go.
Tonga.
13 away!
For the Cougars this season so far. Very strong back runner, back row runner. Really plays well off the fringe. Marinovic. He'll attract 3 of the Butchers.
Release the leg!
There's Morris over the top, power in at dummy half. He'll go right, Doherty. Doherty's met by his opposite number, Dodge. Over the top, Morris. Johnson helping out in defence. Power at dummy half. Out the back to Higgins. Higgins to Horvath. Horvath will come back infield. Horvath's wrapped up by Ruskin and Morris.
Go 4.
Power's gone to the blind. Good hands there from the Cougars. Blackett with the ball. He's monstered there by Gallagher.
Go.
Short side play again. Higgins just put it to the boot and he'll find touch. So nice smart play there by the Cougars, number 7, Blake Higgins. Just putting that ball over the sideline, giving his boys a bit of a breather. So we'll see another scrum packed. 20 metres out from the butcher's line. Johnson at the base, Tatua. Strong carry from Tatua in that first tackle. Super sharp on his feet is Callum Tatua. Perkins, his centre partner, coming in for a carry. As we'll see another penalty blown. This time it'll go towards the Butchers. A little bit of a striking arm by the looks of the referee's signals. So a big touch finder from Jake Walsh. He'll find touch 40 metres out from the Cougars try line. There's Gallagher on the steam. 12 metres, 13 metres. Look at that leg drive. Gallagher, 14 metres. What a carry first up from Jay Gallagher. So Thirroul set to the left. Payne onto the veteran Beath, and he's met hard by Tonga. That was a good shot on the old boy Beef. Johnson out. Walsh onto Higgins. Higgins just grabbed around the bootlaces, gets back up. Gets it onto Walsh. Walsh onto Ruskin. Ruskin's wrapped up 8 metres out from the Cougars try line. Johnson at dummy half. And Morris just couldn't collect that ball and he spilled it. So Morris coughs up the ball. Corrimal let off the hook again. Thirroul blow. Another chance down close to the Cougars line. So we see lots of mistakes in this first 7.5 minutes here at Zeems Park. So we see the rain has slightly died down touch. Just a bit of sigh of relief to myself and my old mate the cameraman here. We've got the open air bar TV box here at the Cougars, Zeems Park. So we see another penalty blown, awarded to the Cougars. Horvath will find touch. So Horvath's put it over, 30 metres out. So a good touch finder there from James Horvath. Get his team back on the front foot. There's Higgins, he'll tap it, show and go himself. He'll pick up 10 metres. Ruskin, Gallagher, tackling. Power. Higgins. Sorry, that's Horvath with the ball in hand. There's Higgins now. Tonga, a good line there from Tonga. It was Doherty coming underneath him. Tonga, the flat ball took it well. There's Billy White, ball in hand. A couple of short metres there from Billy White. The defenders up on him early. Horvath with the ball. Marinovic again, second carry in this set. He'll be wrapped up, 35 metres out from the Butchers try line. Last tackle. Higgins off that left boot, puts it to the air. This will test the back two for the Butchers, and it's well taken by his brother Lee Higgins. Higgins will crab crossfield, looking for a gap. He won't get past Billy Robb. Billy Robb wraps Higgins up 10 metres out from the try line. Perkins. Strong contact there from Billy White on Perkins. Perkins shrugs him off, tries to make a few more metres, and comes up with a mistake. So that first contact from Billy White really shaken up Daniel Perkins there, resulting in a bit of a spilt ball. So now it's the Cougars' turn for a chance down in Butcher territory. They'll get to feed the scrum 20 metres out from the Butchers' try line. Always a good clash between these two sides, the Corrimal Cougars and the Thirroul Butchers. It is, as I said earlier, the local derby. Horvath, Billy Robb underneath him. So Billy Robb, he'll be wrapped up 10 metres out. Horvath at dummy half. He'll go the blind side to Blackett. Blackett a little bit of a jink at the line. He won't fool Ruskin or Daniel Perkins. Horvath, he'll go back to the blind, stepping, looking for room. Ruskin again. Second tackle in a row. Gallagher over the top. Higgins. Underneath him is Doherty. So Doherty's wrapped up just to the left of the uprights. Power at dummy half. Out the back to Higgins. Jared Smith out the back and just couldn't grasp that ball and comes up with another mistake. So the Cougars couldn't capitalise on that good field position they just had. Thirroul defence up to the task. And again, another mistake in this game. I've lost count of the mistakes. I haven't got that many fingers. I'll have to get that from the stats man in the next few minutes. There's Tatua from the scrum. Good carry from Callum Tatua. Perkins in at dummy half. He'll go for a scoot. Sees one marker in front of him. Can't get past Power or Doherty. Morris has met again. 40-metre line. Centre of the paddock. Johnson onto Ruskin. Ruskin barges his way over into Corrimal territory. As we see a silly mistake there from the number 6, James Horvath. Joel Ruskin trying to get to his feet to play the ball, and Horvath just grabbing on the boots. One of those coach killers late in the tackle count, giving away a penalty. And the Butchers, they'll find touch 30 metres out. And there's Gallagher. Left foot step at the line. So strong, that man, Jay Gallagher. Massive boost coming back into this Butchers lineup for Jared Costello. Ruskin, Payne. Beef off Payne. So that man Tonga up on Aaron Beef again. That might be a battle for the rest of this game. The veteran and the young bull there. Walsh, dummy, go himself. He'll get wrapped up. 5 metres out. Johnson, dummies to Ruskin. Brings Beef underneath him. Beef looking across the stripe. Just pulled up short there. The Corrimal defence up on Beef. Johnson at dummy half. Walsh to Gallagher. Gallagher steps. Just pulled up inches from the try line. Last tackle. Perkins at dummy half. Walsh with the ball. Walsh to the boot. Puts it through. Johnson chasing. Just can't get there. So Corrimal knock it over the dead ball line. And it was a great kick there from Thirroul's number 7, Jake Walsh, and Joel Johnson. Inches from planting that ball down the try line, but well done from the Corrimal Cougars. A bit of scrambling defence there and knocking the ball over the dead ball line. The Cougars, they will drop it out to the Butchers. So another chance here for the Thirroul Butchers. Higgins with a low dropout. He'll find Walsh, and there's Ruskin. Gingerly getting over the advantage line. Johnson at dummy half. Morris dummies to Beef, goes himself. His opposite number in Doherty wraps up Morris. Bit of help from Tonga and Higgins. Thirroul 8 metres out. Johnson with options left to right. He'll go to Jack Payne. Payne, Higgins out the back. Tatua, grasps the ball. Higgins has got it back. Higgins stepping. Looking to cross over the stripe. Pulled up short. Nathan Hoare in at dummy half. Tatua. He'll step. Gets past Tonga. He'll be wrapped up. 4 metres out from the try line. Johnson. Walsh has got Morris underneath him. Morris looking for a gap in that Cougars defensive line. Can't find it. Wrapped up. 1 metre short. Last tackle. Johnson at dummy half. Walsh again. Walsh is jammed up quick there for the Corrimal's defence. On to Gallagher. Gallagher comes opposite side of the paddock. Flicks it out the back to Johnson again. Johnson cross kicks. Looking for Hoare. But great work from Bryant, knocking that ball on over the dead ball line. Some exciting passage play there from Thirroul, which is equal to the task was the Corrimal Cougars defence. So again, another dropout, another chance for the Thirroul Butchers. Just look down there at the northern end of the Cougars. We've got the old boys bar full to the brim. They're spilling out the front. Horvath with the dropout. And it's a short, high one from James Horvath. Joel Johnson attempted catch, spilled it back. Morris has picked it up. So Marinovic tackle Morris. Thirroul with Aaron Beef on the attack over the 20-metre line. We've picked up a forward pass there. So we had a call from the touch judge there, a forward pass. That's 2 forward passes for Thirroul down in Corrimal's area. So it'll be a message being sent out from the coaching staff. A little bit of eagerness there from the Thirroul Butchers, just overrunning the ball.
With the flat side touchy, don't move early. Second roll's arms over. Second roll's leg. Heads down.
Blake Higgins to feed the scrum. Popped out the back. They've gone the short side. Here's Smith. Jink at the line. Gets past the first defender.
Get up.
Can't get past Payne or Dodge.
Go one. Held it.
Bryant. A little bit of a fumble there. Regathered it well. Power in at dummy half. Higgins at first receiver. Brings Jamie Marinovic underneath him. He had two options there. Billy White was also there as well. So set up both sides of the ruck here, the Corrimal Cougars. They'll go left to Higgins. Higgins will go out the back to Horvath. Horvath, dummy, go himself. He's not fooling Gallagher. Walsh. Strong carry there from Blackett. Super strong so far in the season, Sebastian Blackett on that left fringe for the Cougars. Power at dummy half. Higgins puts it to boot. And a good kick there from Higgins, but in that breeze, it's just carried over the sideline and gone out on the full. From the commentary box, it looked like a great kick there, splitting the back two. But as I mentioned earlier, there is a breeze here at Zeems Park, and that just got caught up in the breeze and over the dead ball line. So Thirroul, they'll bring it back to halfway. Hayden Crosland with his first carry of the game. Brushes past Billy White. Good 10-metre carry there from Crosland. And Joel Johnson at dummy half. A very, very rare mistake we see from that man. Just got a little bit eager there and tried to rush his pass and just come up with a very uncharacteristic mistake. Usually on point each week, Joel Johnson. But a little error. Coughing the ball up to the Cougars. They'll feed the scrum on their 40-metre line. So I'll let off there for the Cougars. Liam Corey comes in off his wing for a carry. No metres made there from Corey. A little bit of sideways movement. Butcher's defence up to it. Tonga met by that man. Tatua, good contact there. The veteran over the top, Aaron Beath. Power at dummy half. Out the back to Higgins. Higgins short ball to Billy White. And White's met by Morris and Dodge. Still trying to edge his way a couple of metres further down the track. Higgins inside to Corey, and Corey met by that man again, Luke Dodge. Dodge so strong on that left-hand side for the Butchers each week. There's Doherty with another carry. Tireless as always for the Cougars, Doherty. Higgins has gone to the boot. Trying to force a mistake from his brother Lee, but Lee up to the task, takes that just inside the field of play. Looking for open space. Lee Higgins, he's found one. Can't get past Jared Smith, so a good kick chase there from Jared Smith. Nathan Horse scooting from dummy half. Trying to brush away for Doherty, but he can't. Doherty wraps up Hoare. There's the other centre, Perkins. Good scoot from Daniel Perkins. Good metres there on that right-hand side. Nice 10-metre carry. There's his centre partner, Callum Tatua. He'll flick it off to Morris, and Morris just couldn't take that pass. The idea was there. It was a good connection there they have had so far in the season, them two players. But Morris just couldn't grasp that pass. So we see another mistake in this clash between the Cougars and the Butchers. 20 minutes into the first half, score still 0-0. The way it's going, I think the mistakes will outscore both sides. It's something that both coaches will need to talk about throughout the game, is trying to minimise the errors from both teams. There's Garrido coming back off the grain there, back inside. Cougars, they'll go short again. Tonga. He'll be wrapped up by Beef, Payne, Tatua. Higgins with the ball. He'll give it to Doherty. So Doherty. Bit of no frills running there. Ball under the wing, straight up the middle. Higgins will dummy, go himself. Looking to jink at the line. Can't find a gap. Can't get past that man, Luke Dodge. Power in at dummy half. Horvath. Fletcher's onto the field for the Cougars. Sorry, that's Nathan Mateer. So Mateer on the paddock. Short side the Cougars. Horvath put it to the boot, looking for his chasers. Hayden Crosland diving on the ball for the Butchers. It was a good save there from Hayden Crosland. It was a nice little kick there from James Horvath. He had the Cougars chasing that kick well. Hayden Crosland, all courage there, diving on the ball. Thirroul bring it out of their own area. Play the ball on the 20-metre line. Johnson going to the blind side to Gallagher. Strong carry from that man again, Jay Gallagher. So both back rows for Thirroul, Dodge and Gallagher. Been enormous so far in this first 20 minutes. And what a ball there from Jake Walsh onto Crosland. Crosland back inside to Perkins. Perkins is back onto Walsh, and Walsh is streaking away. Jake Walsh will score the first try of the day here at Zeems Park, and what a great play that was. He started the try and he's finished it. A great cutout ball from Jake Walsh onto the chest of Hayden Crosland, and Hayden Crosland down the picket swing. Back inside to Perkins, and Perkins laid it back onto that man, Jake Walsh. It was only time until one of these sides cracked the try line, and it'll go to the Thirroul Butchers today, courtesy of Jake
First
Walsh.
try of the game to Thirroul Butchers, number 7, Jacob Walsh.
Hey?
As we see trainer Dan out there talking to the Thirroul Butchers there, I'm sure he will be enforcing the let's tighten up this play, complete our sets and get to our kicks. It's been a bit of a mistake-riddled game so far between these two sides. So you see Jake Walsh attempting to convert his own try, extend Thirroul's lead. As we see him step in, off the boot, looks good. Straight over to the green dot at the northern end. Thirroul extend their lead 6 points to 0. Jake Walsh converts his own try.
Jake Walsh converted his own try, so 6 points to 0.
Stay on the ball!
Horvath with the kick-off. Nice high kick-off from Horvath. The Corrimal chase is very eager to get this ball back. Come up in the hands of the Butchers though. Callum Tatua leaping to grab that one out of the sky. Walsh at dummy half onto Morris. Morris will be wrapped up. Centre of the paddock. And penalty awarded to the Butchers. So a little bit lazy there from the Cougars. Ryan Fletcher there, just a little bit lazy in the ruck. Jack Payne will kick for touch. He'll find touch 40 metres out from the Cougars line. So the Cougars, they'll really have to dig deep here, make this a big defensive set. Sean Maloney's men need to stand up in this set. Try and force an error from the Thirroul Butchers. As we see Thirroul on the attack. Aaron Beath back underneath, off the grain. Coming back to the centre of the paddock. He'll be wrapped up 22 metres out from the try line, centre of the paddock. Johnson sees one marker, skips, jumps. Off he goes, Joel Johnson, onto Joel Ruskin. Nice play there from Joel Johnson. And Ruskin will be brought down 5 metres out from the try line. Johnson, Payne to Dodge. Dodge pumping those legs. Can he cross? I think he's held up, and he is. So great desperation defence from the Corrimal Cougars. Look like Higgins and Jared Smith. Walsh with the ball in hand. Short ball to Gallagher. Gallagher attracts 3 of the Corrimal Cougars defence. He'll be brought up 4 metres out from the try line. Johnson will go back to the open, onto Ruskin. Ruskin backing into the Cougars. Can he cross the stripe? He's over the stripe, but he's held up. Joel Ruskin. So that's twice in this set. The Butchers have been held up over the line. So good scrambling defence there from the Cougars. As we see one of the Cougars a little bit gingerly in that in-goal line.
You boys have got possession, it's all right. On the line here. Bring it up, boys. Bring it up on the line.
So Corrimal standing up to the task of the Thirroul attack. They'll play the ball 10 metres out. Billy Robb. Good first up hit up from the number 3. Doherty, dummies, goes himself. Higgins in at dummy half. He'll go left to Horvath. Horvath shows, goes. Looks for a gap. Can't get through to Thirroul defence. Ruskin wrapping up Horvath round the legs. Power, stepping, steps again. Flicks it on to Horvath. Horvath in open space. The Thirroul back row is wrapping up Horvath, Dodge and Gallagher. So Power at dummy half. Good play here from the Cougars. Higgins onto the boot, looking to split the winger and the fullback. He can't. His brother fields that in Lee Higgins. Higgins dancing around the Cougars line. Can't get through. So a nice set there from the Corrimal Cougars. Crosland with the ball. Strong carry from the number 2, Hayden Crosland. Few changes for the Butchers. We see both front rowers, Ruskin and Beath, off the paddock. So we'll see Riley Lord and Jared Whitty onto the field for the Butchers. Johnson, one marker in front of him, skips, goes, finds Morris. So dangerous, Joel Johnson out of dummy half. Can sniff out a lazy marker. Johnson pleading for a penalty on the last. Payne with the ball. It'll go to the air. Thirroul chases all onside. Pressure for Jared Smith at the back. But cool as a cucumber, Jared Smith under that high ball then. He wasn't going to make 2 mistakes in a row. Cougars just trying to get back onside. Starting to feel the pinch. Fletcher. Nice carry there from Fletcher. Good defence there from the freshman on the paddock, Jared Whitty. Blackett again with another carry. He'll be brought up, they bring it up over 30 metre line. Higgins dummies, brings Tonga Tonga back inside of him. Whitty and Lord in defence, wrapping up Tonga Tonga. Power at dummy half. Horvath to the boot. He'll put a clearing kicking, looking for the sideline. Bit of an awkward bounce there for Lee Higgins. He'll get it. Crabs across field, looking for a gap. Super fast Lee Higgins. Picks up Jack Payne. Jack Payne shrugs off. He's into open space. Jack Payne, can he go all the way? He's looking for help. And it was great cover defence there from Jared Smith. And well done too, Jared Smith. A super effort there to stop Jack Payne running down the sideline. And Jack Payne just trying to get to his feet there and fumbled the ball. A massive effort there from Jared Smith. If that's not a boost of confidence for the other 12 men on the paddock wearing the green jumpers, then nothing else will be for the day. Super effort there, Jared Smith.
Second row, arms over. Hold with me, guys.
Payne sure did back his own ability there, but Jared Smith, a bit quicker on foot, shutting down the number 6 in Jack Payne. There's Liam Corey with a hit up from the scrum. Power in at dummy half. Fletcher. Power again, looking to the short. Tonga Tonga. Good carry from Tonga Tonga, picking out the smaller man in Payne. But Callum Tatua helping out Jack Payne in defence. Short side again, Power. Garrido gets past Dodge, looking to get past Johnson, but can't. Tries to get that ball away, but it's fended back from the Thirroul Butchers. The Cougars very impressive in their last few sets with the ball in hand. Sean Maloney can take a lot out of their last 2 sets that they've had the ball. Riley Lord put on his back there. 3 of the Cougars. Walsh to Gallagher, Gallagher to Perkins. Space, Crosland underneath him, back inside. Crosland dances, steps. Can't get past Nathan Mateer. Crosland will be wrapped up 30 metres out from the Cougars try line. So Thirroul set to the left. They've gone the blind. Johnson sees one marker, goes himself. Gallagher into open space. Jay Gallagher, can he get across? Steps past one. Collared by Jared Smith and also Bryant. It was a try saver there from that man again, Jared Smith. He did put the momentum out of Jay Gallagher, but what a ball from Joel Johnson. And Thirroul, they'll get a chance with 6 tackles, 2 metres out from the Cougars try line. So it's decision time here for the Butchers. Will they take the 2 or press on? They're pressing on. Johnson on to Riley Lord. Lord's brought short. 1 metre from the try line. Thirroul set both sides of the paddock. Payne. Short ball to Dodge. And it's a forward pass again. That's the 3rd time for the Butchers that they have had a forward pass in their set of 6. So a massive let off there for the Cougars, and the Butchers. Another chance gone begging close to the Cougars line. As we see on the scoreboard, 6-0 still to the Thirroul Butchers. 8.5 minutes left in this first half. Garrido coming in for a run off the scrum. Bryant in at dummy half, he'll take a scoot. Good line speed from the Butchers, but Bryant with great leg drive, picking up extra metres. Higgins at dummy half, he'll go the short, Tonga. He just shrugs off Callum Tatua. He'll come again, Tatua with the help of Dodge. Power, Higgins. Higgins will bring Billy White underneath him. White's met strongly in defence there from Whitty, also Lord. White to play the ball. Higgins to the boot, inside his 40. Straight down the middle of the paddock to Lee Higgins. Lee Higgins runs straight and hard, gets past the first defender, can't get past the second. Hoare in at dummy half, he'll take a scoot. He'll be wrapped up on the halfway line. Johnson out the back to Walsh. Walsh is on to Riley Lord. He'll go over the 40-metre line, 35 metres out from the Cougars try line. Johnson, he'll go the short. Walsh brings Perkins underneath him. Perkins will be wrapped up, 30 metres out. So Thirroul set to the left. Whitty backs into the Cougars' defence, 20 metres out. And an absolute silly penalty there from the Corrimal Cougars. Looks like James Horvath stripping the ball. So an absolute coach killer, that one. Late in the tackle count, and a fresh set of 6-2. The Butchers, Jay Gallagher steams onto that ball. Gallagher's wrapped up 10 metres out from the Cougars' try line. Johnston to Walsh. Walsh out the back to Payne. Payne jinks at the line. Can't get past the Cougars' defence. Johnson in the dummy half. Walsh. Walsh out the back to Higgins. Higgins to Tatua. Tatua back to the defence. Flick back. And the Cougars come up with the ball. So up to the task again, the Corrimal Cougars. Their goal line defence has been very strong in today's encounter in this first half. The Thirroul Butchers only cracked the line once, had plenty of opportunities, but the Cougars boys standing up in defence. There we see the Butchers trying to stand up and stamp a bit of authority in defence. Mick Morris collaring Billy White. Power in at dummy half, Horvath. Horvath out to Blackett, but Blackett can't catch the ball and coughs it up. So again, Thirroul will get a chance close to the Cougars line. So more defence coming up here for the Corrimal Cougars. Walsh to feed the scrum. 20 metres out from the Cougars line. Johnson at the base of the scrum, onto Payne. Payne will bring Dodge underneath him. Dodge tries to shrug off his opposite number in Tonga. And a bit of a strip ball out there from Nathan Doherty, it looked like. And Luke Dodge, ball in hand, gets it stripped by Doherty. So Thirroul again on the attack. Morris steps. He'll be brought up 5 metres out from the Cougars line. Johnson in the dummy half. Out to Walsh and a long bubbling pass, but it's gone back. Jay Gallagher picks up the scraps. He'll stand in the tackle. Johnson, Riley Law with the ball. dummies to Morris, goes himself, flicks it out the back. So Johnson can't regain that flick pass out the back. So another mistake. And we've seen a few. It's not just from one side, it's from both today. So again, the Butchers just can't take advantage of the opportunities they have been given down close to the Cougars line. The Cougars, they'll feed the scrum 10 metres out from their try line. As we see the ref just blow the whistle. He wants this scrum packed correctly. Higgins to feed the scrum. Power at the base. Bryant, he'll step off his right. He'll be brought down by Payne and also Dodge. Dodge's tackle count must be huge in this first half. He's been in everything in defence. So we see Garrido down the right-hand side. Just can't get past Nathan Hall. A good outside passage of play there from the Cougars. Tonga. He's collared by Callum Tatua. And we're going to say that was a little bit high. So that match-up on this side of the paddock between Tatua and Tonga keeps on giving, with Tatua just creeping a little bit high there in defence. Garrido with the tap. He'll go himself. Met again by Dodge. The help of Jared Whitty. Power to Higgins. Higgins dummies to White. Got Horvath outside him. Horvath steps past one. Can't get past the second. So 35 metres out from the Butchers line, the Cougars, they'll be hoping to cross the stripe before the half-time bell. Blackett. And another penalty awarded to the Cougars. Looks like another high shot there from the Thirroul Butchers. So Corrimal with a massive chance here to get on the scoreboard. As we see Higgins, he'll find touch. And it's knocked back in from Hayden Crosland. But that ball's gone over the edge, and we'll see a scrum packed here. Feed to the Cougars. So a bit of a sloppy kick there from Higgins to find touch. It was Hayden Crosland knocking back infield, but the ball's just bounced over the sideline. And we'll see a scrum packed. See the Corrimal boys running to this scrum. They'll want it packed. Minute and 45 seconds left, so a big chance for the Cougars to cross the stripe. You see the referee just bring that one back. Wants it fed straight down the middle. Power at the base. Higgins. Tonga. Steps off the right. Looking for a gap in defence. And he's picked up and driven to the ground. And it could be on him. There's 1, 2. Looked like a bit of push and shove there from Tonga. I would be on the receiving end of one of those. So we see the referee, Taylor Cleveland, just telling the Thirroul Butchers and the Corrimal Cougars to move back from where the tackle occurred. And he was picked up. He was probably a little bit over the horizontal and he got put onto the deck. We see the referee and the touch judge having a communication on the incident. We'll try and listen in and see what the referee has to say.
You guys are getting the penalty for this try, right? 14 and captain. Okay. Penalty's against you for the dangerous lift. Okay. Going on the fourth. Okay. We've got 3 or 4 penalties in a row here. 2 head high. Dangerous. Sorry. So don't let it all wait ahead. Okay. Talk to your lead. Okay. Simple.
So we'll see Corrimal awarded the penalty, the 12, Tonga. 10 minutes in the bin for a punch. Jared Whitty put on report for the tackle. So a minute 20 left in this first half. Corrimal, 12 men on the paddock. Higgins with the ball. A short ball there to Mateer. So Mateer, he'll be wrapped up 5 metres out from the Butchers line. Can the Cougars cross the stripe? Doherty's wrapped up, centre of the paddock, 5 metres out from the try line, trying to get to his feet. Power, Horvath with a face ball to Blackett. Blackett shrugs off one, can't get past Jay Gallagher. Power at dummy half. Horvath with the ball, puts it on the grass. He'll be looking for his half partner Higgins, but can't find him. That man, Lee Higgins, right spot at the right time again. And Thirroul stood up to the task there defensively to shut down the Cougars' attack. The Cougars with a massive opportunity there before half-time, just couldn't cross that stripe. 12 men on the paddock, the Corrimal Cougars. As we see, another penalty blown. So a strip in the ruck there. Thirroul, they'll kick for touch. Seconds winding down in this first half. We'll go to the half-time break at 6-0. And Jack Payne, he'll just kick for touch as we hear the siren go off.
Here we are. Here we are, Cougars. Hold.
See Perkins taps. Walsh. Out the back to Payne. Payne will dummy, go himself. He'll look for a gap. Can't find the gap. He'll wrapped up. So at half-time break here at Zeems Park, the Thirroul Butchers will go into the shed. 6-0 in front. An entertaining first half of football. Few mistakes in the game. Tonga, 10 minutes in the bin. Jared Whitty put on report for that tackle. We'll be back after the break for the second half of this local derby between the Corrimal Cougars and the Thirroul Butchers.
Pretty much like latent, don't call 50-50, you know what I mean?
Hey Jack. Okay, don't knock that corner out. That's it.
Just noticed it was about to fall.
Oh, mate, is that coming?
Oh, the kids are playing.
Well done, boys. Under sixes. Give them a round of applause. Great game.
Welcome back to Zeems Park. Welcome back to Zeems Park. Second half rugby league about to be witnessed here as we see the clouds rolling back out to the ocean. Glimpses of blue sky starting to appear. The Butchers on the field early, as you would expect, leading 6 points, 2-0, eager to get on with this game. The Corrimal Cougars will moments be coming onto the field as we see them approaching the field, led out by their captain, Jared Smith.
Just got a raffle announcement for our Corrimal Cougars ZPE Old Boys Club. It's a blue ticket, 003. And that can be collected at the northern end of the ground there at the Old Boys Shed. Thank you.
As we see, Thirroul will get this second half underway, kicking off to the Corrimal Cougars. A converted try to Jake Walsh, only splitting this side. And that man will get us back underway. A first half riddled with mistakes from both sides. And we've got kickoff and we're underway for the second half. Horvath taking that ball out of the sky from the kickoff from Walsh. Wrapped up in defence from Gallagher and Perkins. So short side play there from the Cougars. A little bit of +1 football there from the Cougars. Horvath being very involved. Higgins on to Mateer. So Mateer will be wrapped up. Scoot from Power trying to pinch cheap metres. Jared Whitty not being fooled. Wrapping up Power. Power rolled over onto his back. He'll play the ball on the halfway line. Last tackle. Higgins. He'll go to the sky. And Lee Higgins just couldn't grasp that. And he's got a fingertip to it, and he's coughed the ball up. So a mistake there, a very, very rare mistake there from the fullback, number 1, Lee Higgins. It came from the boot of his brother, Blake. So I'm sure there'll be a bit of banter involved after this match about that. And Corrimal with the first chance in the second half. They'll feed the scrum 22 metres out from the Butchers' try line.
To the left, to the left.
Horvath feeds, Higgins out of the scrum. Garrido back underneath Higgins. Garrido will be wrapped up just shy of the 20-metre line. Power. Higgins with a bit of a fumble, regathers, dances, goes back to the short side, looking for a gap. Can he find a gap? No. Luke Dodge wraps him up.
Quick,
Higgins to play the ball, Power at dummy half. Billy White, rare positional play for him being first receiver, but he'll just take it under his arm and go forward. Higgins, Horvath to Blackett. Blackett steps off his right, puts out that right foot, right hand fend. Can't get past the Butchers. Defence, Horvath. He'll dummy underneath, go the open side. Doherty. Doherty's just getting driven back a couple of metres there from the Butchers defence. Last tackle, power under Horvath. Horvath to Higgins. Higgins on the left boot, puts it along the grass, looking for a mistake. And Nathan Hoare just couldn't grasp that ball and fumbles it and then pushes it back over the dead ball line. So a great kick there from the Corrimal number 7, Blake Higgins. And another chance here for the Cougars early in the first half. The Butchers will drop it back out to the Cougars.
In the middle behind the locker kicker.
Bit of a short and high dropout, but Horvath, he'll take that one on the full. He'll be wrapped up and play the ball 15 metres out from the Butchers try line. So full steam ahead here for the Cougars. Mateer will be wrapped up 10 metres out, 10 metres in from the sideline. Power at dummy half with to Horvath. Horvath to Doherty. Doherty his way a couple of extra metres there. He'll be wrapped up 5 metres out from the Butchers line. Centre of the paddock. Options left and right here for the Cougars. They'll go right to Horvath. Flat ball there for Billy White. So White will play the ball 5 metres out. Power dummies, goes himself, tries to dive over the line. And he's just brought up millimetres from the try line on the last tackle. Horvath, Higgins that left foot, finding the grass. A little bit too deep, that kick from Higgins. So a 7 tackle set coming up for the Thirroul Butchers. And a nice passage of play there for the Cougars. Just a little bit too much pepper on that kick from Higgins. We'll see the Butchers with 7 tackles in front of them.
Scores from other grounds: West 18, Helensburgh 12, Dapto 10, Berkeley 8.
There's a strong carry from Mick Morris. Nice 10 metre run there from Morris. Johnson dummy half. Sees one marker, goes to the left, picks up Tatua. Tatua over the halfway line. Johnson. He's collared there by the marker who was not square. Smart play there from the Thirroul skipper, Joel Johnson, earning his side a penalty. That'll be penalty number 8 awarded to the Butchers. 5 been awarded to the Cougars so far in this match. So we see the Thirroul kick for touch, going more sideways than distance there. So 40 metres out. The Butchers, they'll tap Tatua. Payne onto Morris. Morris is wrapped up centre of the paddock, 35 metres out. Johnson at dummy half. Riley Lord. Strong carry from Lord, pumping those legs, earning metres upon metres there. So he's been wrapped up 25 metres out and gets another penalty awarded to the Thirroul Butchers. So back-to-back penalties here for the Butchers. Walsh onto Gallagher. Gallagher steps but can't get through the Cougars' defence. He'll be wrapped up on tackle 1. Johnson in at dummy half. Johnson goes to short. Perkins trying to muscle his way over the try line but can't. He's wrapped up 2 metres shy. Crosland at dummy half. Johnson at first receiver. Gallagher off Johnson. Steps trying to bust his way over the line. So strong, Jay Gallagher. Can he cross? He's trying, he can't. The Cougars just hold him out. So Johnson will play the ball inches from the Cougars try line. Johnson at dummy half. A long ball to Payne. Payne will go himself, trying to cross. He can't. Shut down by the Cougars defence. Higgins at dummy half, goes to short. Dodge dummies, bumps off the Cougar player and dives over. Luke Dodge. Well-deserved try to Luke Dodge, who's been tireless in defence and attack in the first half. And a great passage of play there from the Thirroul Butchers on the tail end of multiple penalties, marched their way down the paddock. And it was just a matter of time for the Butchers to cross the stripe. So hard to defend against any team on back back-to-back penalties, but the Thirroul Butchers, they're so hard to hold out. That man, Luke Dodge, crossing the stripe.
Try the Butchers, scored by number 12, Luke Dodge. 10-0 with the kick to come.
See Jake Walsh trying to add the extra 2 points to the Butchers' lead. Difficult conversion, but on his preferred side, off the boot, holding up in the wind. Doesn't look like it's going to have the legs, and it's not. So the score, it will remain 10 points to 0 to the Thirroul Butchers. Plenty of football left in this game. 32 minutes remaining of this second half. As we see both benches warming up, so expect a few changes very shortly from both coaches. As we said in the opening minutes of the game, the Thirroul Butchers coming off a 14-all draw against Collegians last week at Gibson Park. I'm sure there is a few tired bodies out there. The Cougars, they'll be fresh, coming off the bye, hungry for their first win in season 2018. As we have kickoff there, won't be only a few seconds remaining, and we'll see Tonga back onto the field. He was sin-binned in that first half, so it can't be too long. And we've just heard over the announcement, so the Cougars, they'll be back to 13 men on the paddock. Perkins out of dummy half with a strong scoot.
11 move! Oh!
Short side, a strong carry there from Jared Whitty. Plays above his weight each week. Not much of Whitty, but geez, he's tough. Gallagher again on the short. Still trying to pump those legs, Gallagher. He'll be wrapped up on the 40-metre line. Johnson at dummy half. He'll see one marker go himself. Steps off his right. He's in open space. Johnson inside to Higgins. Higgins flicks it out to Whitty. And Whitty. Oh, Jared Whitty. He's coughed the ball up. What a passage of play there from the Thirroul Butchers. Great cover defence there from the Cougars, just knocking the ball out of Jared Whitty's hand as he went to put that ball under the dot down the southern end. So great desperation defence there from the Cougars, but great attacking play there from the Butchers.
15 moves! Oh, God. No, I moved early.
The Cougars, they'll be wrapped up. Just over their 40-metre line. Power at dummy half, Higgins. He'll bring Billy White underneath him. Billy White will crab back infield. No metres made off that set there. Thirroul defence up on Billy White early. Power to the left. Horvath to Blackett. Blackett looking for space. Can't find it. The gap's there in between the blue and white jumpers. Power out of dummy half. Kick it straight down the throat of Lee Higgins. So Higgins with a bit of grass in front of him. Steps off his right, looking for space. He's shut down on the 30-metre line. Payne at dummy half. Nathan Hoare coming in off his wing. Strong carry there from Nathan Hoare. We see a replacement for the Butchers. Riley Lord off the paddock. The veteran Aaron Beath back on the field. Callum Tatua, hopping, skipping, trying to gain more metres. Johnson at dummy half. Dodge, flat ball there from Johnson. Dodge will be wrapped up, centre of the paddock, 40 metres out. Johnson scoots, goes himself, sees a gap. Joel Johnson again in open space, steps off his right. Still going Johnson. Payne with the ball in hand now. So great work there from Joel Johnson. Last tackle. Payne to play the ball. They'll go the open. Walsh bring Gallagher back underneath him. Gallagher with the ball. Looking to cross the stripe. He'll be brought up inches from the try line. So a changeover there for the Butchers. Gallagher just caught with the ball on the last. Another exciting passage of play there from the Butchers, starting with that man Joel Johnson. This is where he is so dangerous. in the second half of rugby league, sniffing out that lazy marker or one marker. He just picks his time to go. 9 times out of 10, it's the right option. So the Cougars, they're doing a little bit tough now to get out of their own area. The Thirroul defence really jamming up. They'll be wanting to spread it wide and look for their fast men to get them out of their red zone. So they're just over the 20 metres now, the Cougars. Power to Horvath, Horvath to the boot. Kick side, out of trouble, and a solid kick there from James Horvath. Nathan Hall retrieved that 15 metres out from his own try line. So a great clearing kick there from James Horvath. And a nice chase there from a couple of those Corrimal Cougars players, with Thirroul scooting out of dummy half onto the 40-metre line. Tatua, he's met, wow, what a shot there from Jack Gordon, the number 16. He didn't miss Tatua. Dodgers wrapped up, 40 metres out. Johnson at dummy half. There's Aaron Booth. Another 10-metre carry for Booth. He's good for a 10-metre carry each time with the ball. Walsh, he'll put it to the boot. Puts it high, putting pressure on the fullback. And it looks like Liam Corey's gone back to fullback there, with Jared Smith coming from the field. So one of Corrimal's key players, Jared Smith, he's been so good so far today and for season 2018 so far, coming off the field. So that'll be a big loss for Sean Maloney and his team.
Release the leg! Oh, go through.
There's Jack Gordon, the man that put a nice shot on earlier with a nice carry. Fresh onto the paddock. On the last, Higgins on that left boot. Straight down the throat of his brother, Lee. So Lee looking for a space, steps off his right. Can't get past Jones, gets past Jones into open space. Lee Higgins, and a great carry, great 50-metre return there from Lee Higgins. So Thirroul on the front foot. Gallagher, dummies, goes himself. Steps off the right, steps off the left. He's still going, Jay Gallagher. Can they stop him? Arms free, trying to get that ball released, but he can't. He's wrapped up 5 metres out from the Cougars try line. Short ball to Ruskin. Ruskin backing his way, edging closer to the try line. He'll be wrapped up 2 metres short. Johnson in the dummy half. Walsh to the right. Walsh with the ball in hand. Dummies, double pumps, finds Morris. Morris trying to get that arm free and flick it out. He's still going forward, Morris. Still got momentum. They can't put him down, and they've raked it out. So Morris just wrestling there, trying to get over the stripe, and one of the Cougars players, number 3, Billy Robb, rips it out of Morris's arms. And we'll see through with a fresh set of 6 tackles, metres out from the Cougars try line, and a replacement, Jay Gallagher off. Luke Shields onto the field. Higgins to Tatua. Tatua could carry that ball, and we've seen a mistake. So it was a great backline move there from the Butchers, but just couldn't capitalise. And they've coughed up the ball. So more mistakes in this game. Still 10-0. The visiting side, the Thirroul Butchers, in front of the home team, the Corrimal Cougars. Higgins to feed the scrum. 20 metres out from his try line. Thirroul defence up onto Bryant. Beef, Ruskin, Higgins wrapping up Bryant. So Power with the 90s back. Dummy half, Marinovic. Flicks it out the back. Power's there, dummies. Goes himself, jinking, looking for open space. Trying to find it. He's not going to get past Shields. Higgins in the dummy half, Billy White.
Release now!
Higgins on the short side. Pick up Tonga Tonga. Power dummy half, short again. Garrido. He'll be wrapped up 25 metres out, last tackle.
Go.
Higgins onto the left boot, puts it high, looking for his chasers. And we'll see, offside there, the Corrimal chasers. So it was a good kick put up in the air from the number 7, Blake Higgins, but his chasers just offside there. Daniel Perkins tried to take the ball but coughed it up. And we'll see Walsh kick for touch. He'll get the Butchers just over the 30-metre line. Morris off the tap. Good strong 10-metre carry, 15-metre carry from Morris. He had a blinder last week and he's doing it again this week. Ruskin. Ruskin's met there by Billy White and also Jack Gordon. His front row partner, Shields. The big moose trying to pump those legs. He's brought down. Payne back inside to Tatua. Tatua to Higgins. Johnson, centre of the paddock. Moose. Dummies, goes himself. Not fooling anyone with that dummy, the Moose. On the last. Walsh. Long ball out to Perkins. And Perkins has dropped that one and just kicked it into touch, and a little bit of disgust there. So not the tail end to the set that the Butchers wanted. Another mistake and another scrum. Corrimal to feed.
It wasn't a knock on until he kicked it out. So you would have had the ball, but he kicked it out. So. Right, stay with your fast side touch boys. Don't move early. All arms over. Head down.
So Horvath to feed the scrum.
Outside leg up. In.
Bit of striking there from the blue and white Sox. And we'll see a penalty awarded to the Cougars.
Third time.
We see Horvath will kick for touch. And it's a great touch finder there from James Horvath, landing on the Corrimal Cougars bench.
In the middle, in the middle. Hold.
Now the Cougars 45 metres out from the Butchers line. Blackett taps and goes himself.
Hold. Go one.
Marinovic with a hit up. He's made a few metres. He'll be brought down just shy of the 30-metre line. Power in at dummy half. Horvath. Crabs crossfield. Finds Higgins behind him. Higgins shrugs off Johnson. Comes back infield. Johnson gets him for a second time. Marinovic again, another carry in this set. So 25 metres out the Cougars. Trying to cross the Thirroul stripe. Higgins. Oh, good contact there from the 17. Higgins puts it on a boot, another grubber kick, and Hoare just can't take the full grasp of that and coughs the ball up. And Nathan Hoare looks like he's come off second best there from that kick chase from the Cougars. He's getting up a little bit gingerly. So the Cougars, they'll feed the scrum 10 metres out. And a big opportunity here for the Cougars to cross the line. Cougars there, spread out to the left. Massive chance here for the home side. Higgins to feed the scrum, 10 metres out. Power at the base. Horvath. Short ball to Fletcher. So Fletcher, he'll be brought and pushed backwards. 15 metres out, he'll eventually be brought down. They'll go the open side. Marinovic trying to shrug his way over the line, brought down by Johnson. Bit of a size difference there between the two players. Open side Higgins. Higgins dummies, goes himself. Brought down inches from the try line. So if there's a man to cross, it could be Higgins. He's been dangerous. Tonga diving. Just brought up short. So they're set deep to the left, the Cougars. Power. Short ball. Shields comes up with it. What a steal there by the Moose. Massive play there from Luke Shields. The Butchers had their backs to the wall in that set of 6. And a huge play there from Luke Shields. Very smart footballer. So the Butchers up to the task there. The Cougars just couldn't come up with the goods from that set of 6. It's a tour. Johnson at dummy half. Ruskin shrugs off 1, shrugs off 2. Over the halfway line into Corrimal territory. Quick play of the ball there. Johnson out of dummy half. Trying to pinch those metres again. He pinches 10. And he catches them offside. Smart play there again by Joel Johnson. So Thirroul awarded a penalty. 30 metres out from the Corrimal Cougars try line, centre of the paddock. They've been awarded this penalty. So we see a couple of the Cougars players starting to feel the pinch. Bit of stretching. Why they're getting said, we see Tonga getting a bit of assistance there from the trainer. Looks like cramps have set in. Back on his feet. So all trainers on the field running water bottles non-stop here. Both teams starting to feel the pinch of this game. Has been a tight encounter. Scoreline 10-0 still to the Thirroul Butchers. See Nathan Mateer to take the field for the Cougars. We see the Cougars starting number 9. It looks like Ryan Power just come to the sideline. So there'll be a bit of a shuffle here for Sean Maloney and his men. He's been good again today, Ryan Power. Hope it's nothing too serious. So Mateer onto the field. We'll start play again. The Butchers go the penalty. Johnson with the tap. Ruskin, he'll charge forward. Nice carry from Joel Ruskin. Looking for a quick play of the ball. Johnson in at dummy half. Walsh to Shields. Shields trying to bump off the defence, trying to get to the ball, get to his feet to play the ball. Eventually does. Walsh out the back to Payne. Payne short ball to Dodge. Dodge backing off the grain. He'll be brought down 10 metres out from the Cougars try line. Johnson will go himself. Dummies. Trying to sniff out a try. Can't get past the Cougars defence. So Payne's in at dummy half. Walsh in at dummy half. To Payne. Payne inside to Higgins. Higgins steps, trying to get past the Cougars defence. He'll be pulled up short. Last tackle. Options to the right. Long ball out to Walsh. Walsh will put it on the grass, looking for his chasers. But great effort there from Nathan Mateer, picking up the scraps there behind from the kick. And the Cougars bringing it back through Tonga. So Nathan Mateer, fresh on the field, comes up with the right play there. It was a nice kick there from the Butchers number 7. But Mateer just cleaning up there and getting the Corrimal Cougars back on the attack. Another good shot there from Ethan George. And a great effort there from Ethan George. Backing up from reserve grade today. A big game he did have in that second grade encounter earlier on today. Awarded by Coach Jarrah Costello with a first grade game. Again, another one of those second graders that Coach Costello leans on from time to time to step up and play first grade. The Butchers with a chance now. 25 metres out from the Cougars line. Jack Payne to feed the scrum. The Butchers are set both sides of the scrum. Johnson at the base, he'll go the short to Tua. Steps off his right. Finds Hoare. Thirroul step back infield, looking for space, trying to cross the stripe, brought up short, 5 metres out. Nathan Hawes brought down. Johnson in at dummy half to Ruskin. Ruskin ball under the wing, backing into the Corrimal Cougars defence, looking for an opportunity, but he's brought down. Metres out. Johnson at dummy half. Payne. Payne will go to the line. Short ball to Ethan George. Ethan George looking to cross the stripe. Centimetres short, Ethan George. Johnson at dummy half. Out to Payne. Payne a face ball to Tatua. Tatua's just got to get it out to Nathan Hoare. He can't. So it's been knocked back. 6 again for the Butchers. Payne steps. Trying to get past the Cougars defence. But he's brought down from a bit of a lifting tackle. So Thirroul awarded another penalty. Johnson with the tap. Walsh. Walsh brings Ethan George underneath him. He's met from Tonga Tonga. Good defence there. Looking for a quick play, the ball, Johnson. He'll give it to Payne. Payne's got Tatua underneath him. Tatua looking across, and he does. But it's a penalty. So an obstruction there from the attacking side. Callum Tatua looked like he crossed for all money, but referee has pulled him up on that for an infringement. So the Cougars let off here. And they'll kick for touch. 30 metres out of their own goal line. They'll start their set of 6, and Tonga Tonga just put it on the boot and go forward. And good metres, he's still going over the halfway line. Shrugs off. Crosland trying to bump off Higgins, but he can't bump off Higgins. And he's come up with a mistake. Tonga Tonga Tonga. It was a great run down that far side of the field. But he just couldn't hold on to the ball. Tried to run over the top of Lee Higgins, and Lee Higgins coming up with the defensive shot to cause the mistake. So another mistake in this game and another scrum we will witness. Thirroul this time to feed the scrum on their 30-metre line. So Payne to feed. Looks like Crosland in for a bit of a run. Johnson onto Crosland. Crosland carrying that ball in front of him. He's brought down by the Cougars' defence. Johnson at dummy half to the short side to Morris. Morris steps off the right, then the left, but can't get through the Corrimal defence. So stack to the short again, the Butchers, and they'll go that way. Perkins. Perkins has met in a good tackle there from Nathan Mateer. Johnson to the open this side to Walsh. Walsh will bring Ruskin underneath him. So into Corrimal territory on their 40-metre line are the Thirroul Butchers. They'll go the short side to Walsh. Walsh to Perkins. Perkins on to Crosland. Crosland open space. Brings it back inside to Morris. And Michael Morris crosses the stripe for the Thirroul Butchers. All started from Joel Johnson in at dummy half. They went the short side. It was great ball movement there from the Butchers. Perkins onto Crosland, and Crosland just puts it back onto the chest of Michael Morris. If there's a man on that paddock that deserves a try, it is Michael Morris. Tireless again today. And the number 13, Michael Morris, extends the Thirroul Butchers lead. They push it out to 14 points to 0.
By number 13, Michael Morris.
So Walsh to attempt to add the extra 2 points to the Thirroul Butchers lead. As we see, Walsh is placing the ball on the tee. So the fitness of the Thirroul Butchers starting to come into play here. in this tight tussle, riddled with mistakes. So we see Walsh stepping into it, curling that one around, using the wind, and has just gone to the across the face. So conversion unsuccessful there from Jake Walsh. The scores will remain 14 points to nil. Just under 10 minutes remaining in this game. They just haven't been able to execute that last pass to result in a 4-pointer. So Horvath to get us back underway. It's down to Higgins and Ruskin off the back fence, and that's the quickest I've seen Joel Ruskin take a hit up. Rusco, he's hit a bit of form. Crosland, dummies, goes himself. He'll be brought down on his 40-metre mark, so 2 tackles to Thirroul, really marching their way down the paddock. Dodge brought up on the halfway line. Johnson to the short side, to Tua. Shrugs off one, shrugs off two. To Tua, looking for runners, tries to flick it away, but can't get that last pass into the hands of Lee Higgins. The idea was right, but just couldn't get that arm free enough to flick it onto Higgins' chest. And we'll come back for another scrum. This time a Corrimal Cougars feed. The idea was there. Tatua so dangerous, so quick on his feet. Tried to get that arm free, and it would have been in for all money, Lee Higgins, if he had caught that ball. And Corrimal with a chance here. Ball in hand. Bryant with a carry, but he's met strongly there from Jared Whitty and Joel Ruskin. They'll go to the left again. Blackett marching forward. That was a nice carry by the Cougars back rower. Back to the open side, Higgins. Higgins to Doherty. Doherty over the halfway line. Horvath in at dummy half. Again the blind. Marinovic, the front rower, shrugging off, standing, flicks the ball out. Higgins. Blackett. So Blackett will be brought down over the 40-metre line. Stack to the short. Higgins. Dummies. And a great ball there onto the chest of Mateer. Mateer just got to beat Higgins, and Higgins wraps up Mateer. And it's going to be called a high tackle there. So Higgins, he's just jumped into the tackle of Mateer. There was a chance there because Corrimal had Billy Robb on the left-hand side, open. So a massive chance here for the Corrimal Cougars. The Butchers, they won't want to leak points. Corrimal Cougars, they are eager for a 4-pointer. Horvath, out the back to Higgins. Higgins to Marinovic. He'll get brought down. 8 metres out, centre of the paddock. Cougars stack both sides. Higgins on the right, it'll go to that man. And Tonga Tonga running a great line there, but he'll be brought down 8 metres out. Horvath dummies, that dummy half, go himself. So it looks like Horvath's playing a bit of a number 9 role with Ryan Power brought to the sideline. As we see a penalty awarded to the Cougars. So another 6 tackle set close to the line. Doherty brought down centre of the paddock, 3 metres out. Horvath out the back to Higgins. Higgins to the boot. 6 again. Liam Corey comes up with that. He's trying to get to his feet. Mateer at dummy half. Jack Gordon. Millimetres from the try line. Gordon's brought down. So we've got Horvath in at dummy half. Onto the boot. And a penalty for offside again. So the Butchers. Back-to-back penalties here awarded to the Cougars. Something's got to give here. Can the Butchers' defence stand up to this onslaught of attack? Gordon. He's been good since coming on in the field, the number 16. Horvath at dummy half to Higgins. Higgins is on to Fletcher. Fletcher brings it back to the centre of the paddock. He's brought down by Joel Johnson. Horvath at dummy half. Blackett. Blackett onto Gordon. Gordon's trying to shrug past. He can't. Good defence here from the Butchers. Real desperation stuff. Horvath Marinovic trying to get past, bustle his way over the Thirroul line, but he can't. He's brought down. Horvitz, a dummy half, out to Higgins. Higgins with the ball out to Corey, can't grasp it. Tonga shrugs off Hoare. Then he bumps off Payne. Eventually brought down. 10 metres out, far side of the paddock. Billy White. Doherty. Doherty's brought down. Now they're centre of the paddock. Horvat, dummy half. Higgins to the boot, trying to create something. And his brother fumbles it back over the dead ball line. So the Cougars, they'll get another shot at the Thirroul line here. Butchers will drop it out to the Cougars. And it was a nice little kick there from Blake Higgins. The Thirroul fullback having to knock it over the dead ball line. That was a massive effort from the Butchers' defence. Corrimal laying all they had at them. And a short dropout from Johnson down the throat of Liam Corey. And Corey, who'll be brought down 20 metres out, centre of the paddock. So a little bit of wrestling there, trying to get up. Dodge just couldn't get his arm free. Doherty brings Marinovic underneath him. Still going. Brought down, 8 metres out, centre of the paddock. Horvat at dummy half, options left and right. They'll go to the left. Higgins just couldn't get that. Referee's called gone back. Gordon, met by Perkins. Good front-on tackle there from Daniel Perkins. Gordon will play the ball, 10 metres out. Horvat at dummy half. Higgins, Doherty looking for some space. Can't get between Shields, Lord and Johnson. So Doherty, he'll play the ball 5 metres out. Horvat at dummy half. That man Higgins onto the left boot again. Chases are onside. And what a kick chase there from Thomas Garrido. Try time for the Corrimal Cougars. It was only a matter of time. They kept peppering this Thirroul Butchers defensive line. And a great kick there from Corrimal's number 7, Blake Higgins. Try time to the Cougars, and it was well deserved. So the joy to the local crowd there. Corrimal, the old boys bar, went up down that northern end, and it was a massive effort. It was only a matter of time. Back into penalty after penalty awarded to the Cougars, and a dropout, and a great set there from the Cougars. Blake Higgins, he's been one of their best today, just really directing his side around the paddock. And off his left boot, resulting in Thomas Garrido slamming that ball down. So Higgins, he'll attempt to add 2 points to the Corrimal Cougars tally. Looks good off the boot, and it is. Straight over the dot, flags are up. Just under 2 minutes remaining, and it's 14 points to 6. Thirroul leading the Corrimal Cougars.
That try was well converted by Blake Higgins, number 7. Cougars 6, Butchers 14.
So we see the clock winding down.
38 to go.
Just over a minute and a half remaining. The Butchers won't be in much rush to kick this ball off. Another exciting game is going to take place after this one. We'll see the women's, the Corrimal Cougars v. Looks like the Berkeley Eagles. Fletcher. He'll play the ball 25 metres out. We're into the last minute of rugby league. For this game, Butchers Corrimal. As I've said, it's been a game full of mistakes, but we've seen entertaining patches of rugby league, some great tries scored today. Higgins, cheeky chip kick. Lee will field that at the back. So it's been a good battle there. The 7 for the Corrimal Cougars And the one for the Thirroul Butchers. He's had a great kicking game, Blake Higgins. And equal to the task is the number 1 for Thirroul, Lee Higgins. He's had some great carries returning the ball. And the Butchers, Daniel Perkins scooting out of dummy half, just trying to wind down this clock as we're about to hear the full-time siren. Luke Shields taps it to Johnson. Johnson, a short ball to Dodge. And Dodge, he'll just be wrapped up there by Horvath. And that will be full time here at Zeems Park. An entertaining game of rugby league was witnessed. The Thirroul Butchers coming out victorious, 14 points to 6 against the Corrimal Cougars.
Good game. Just like to
Thank you to everyone watching. This is Johnny Pett calling this game for Bar TV Sports, and we'll see you somewhere next week in the Illawarra.
Playing momentarily.